woman was not to say women are more important than men. I don't think that.
Mhm.
But in romance, I think it works the old fashioned way when a man was courting the woman and
Mhm.
pursuing her. And it just was a beautiful, I don't know, it was just beautiful.
Mhm.
And the
But
vibe was just different.
yeah, back then you ain't. It wasn't no $20. You give $20. Now you give them
Back
twenty
then, they was
dollars.
like,
Yeah.
I'll pay your, what baby say, baby
Okay.
face, I'll pay your rent, I'll fix your car, buy
Okay.
your clothes, I'll do anything. As soon as I get home from work.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
And he was
and
working.
he was working.
Fool.
Now you got a dude on your couch eating your food, playing video games. Okay,
Okay.
what are we doing? Go to work.
Yes. Okay. Period.
Dating is hard for a lot of people. So it sounds like she's having a hard time finding the right man. She's 52, all alone, no kids. And, we're in this interview. Let's hear about her dating experience as a black woman.
What do you wish someone had told you about dating, like in your 40s and 50s back then?
You think that when you're ready to settle down, that there's always going to be a lot of supply on the shelves,
Mm.
and it's not. Like at this age, a lot of the good guys are married.
Mm.
See, this is the one thing that I try to tell women. I have a lot of female friends, and I always tell them all the time. I have some that are married, some that are single, some that are in between, figuring themselves out. And I tell them that, in the early days, in the early years, the ball is in the court of the woman, right? So they're young, they're beautiful, they're attractive, and, all the men want them, they're flocking. And I feel like sometimes women overlook men, good men sometimes, and they go with the bad boys or they go with their career. And I think that, not to say that men should be a priority, but I feel like women should learn how to recognize when they have something good and learn to hold on to that. Because I think in the black culture, or at least the black community, there is a lot of speculations and talk and conversations about men are not good enough. And that's stemming from a few women that had bad experiences that are extremely loud on social media. So it's not uncommon to hear women saying, or older women advising younger women to ignore men. Men are good for nothing. Men are only there for money. And if they can't provide you any money, then you don't need any men because you could do all good by yourself, right? And I think that's the wrong attitude to have because this is destroying the community. Because it's extremely important. The black community is one of the lowest when it comes to marriage. And I feel like marriage is an economic event that helps build your household because now you have two income household instead of one. You have the upbringing of a family environment, the kids with two adults, which it's been proven that kids being brought up from household of two parents are tend to have a better outcome than kids coming from single parent household. So I think that there's a broader conversation to be had when it comes to this. But, back to this interview, it's important to understand that one thing is women want good men. The good men are good because they know what they want. They're ready to settle down. And if they're good, there's a very good chance they're going to be married by the time you're ready. So, I think that this whole notion of some women want men when they're all successful, rich, everything is working well for him. That's not. Mm-mm. It doesn't work that way. You want an already made man, and then when you find one, you wonder why he doesn't take you seriously or uses you, for instance, because most of those men will always remember how hard it was or how often they got dismissed when they didn't have anything. So it's bittersweet. It's like I get it because I have sisters. I understand that sometimes dating can be difficult, but I feel that women need to learn how to recognize when they have something good. And if you do, hang on with that. And if you don't, then keep it moving.
Or taken because they're good guys.
Hmm.
And I was having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine the other day, and I'm like, well, your best bet now is maybe someone that a good man that maybe is coming out of a marriage, getting a divorce. So,
Now, think about it this way, right? There are no good men available because think about it. She's 52. she's not going to be looking to date a man that's in his 20s, in his 30s for sure, right? And if she's looking for someone in his late 40s, there's a very good chance he's already married. So that's again what she was saying. The good men's are already gone, and they're good because they know what they want, so they're gone. Now, for the ones that are getting divorced or recently divorced, most people that leave a marriage are not rushing to go into marriage again. So, if you think about it this way, all the good guys are gone, and the very few that seem to be available aren't ready to commit because now that they've, you know, divorced after, 10 years, 15, 20 years of marriage, the last thing they're thinking about is going back to get married because divorces are not a fun thing.
I think in our youth, and I would like people to know this when they're younger, we think, oh, there's always going to be an endless supply. I,
Hmm.
I can wait till tomorrow. Don't put off your happiness waiting. You know, if you find that good person, like a lot of times we wait, well, it's not the right time. It's never going to be like the right time. I would say go for it more. I wish I would have
That's
told
right.
someone told me just go for it. I probably
Hmm.
have overlooked a good candidate before, like
Why
Hmm.
maybe
is that though?
me thinking the timing thing,
Um,
maybe prioritizing career.
mm,
I definitely was always like work, 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 work. I never thought I had could like the enough cushion built up to like relax and take my foot off the gas and start a family.
and then did that just go on and on
Yeah.
and on, and then you be 100 years old and you like it's
Damn
still
it.
working.
Still
So I have a question. Why is it that women do that? Like, why is it that they put their career first? Because I'm not I'm not saying that you should be sitting at home not doing nothing as a woman. Like, you have a career, you have things going for yourself. But I feel like if you meet a man, it seems that it happens a lot where a woman will not second guess herself if she were to choose between a man and her career because men are always going to be there, or I want to be a baddie, or I want to be independent. I don't need no man, so I'm going to focus on me, 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 which I think is the wrong approach because you might end up on that career path that could take forever to reach where you want to go. And by the time you reach there, that's when you're going to turn around and say, hey, I wish and I'm ready for family. And it's too late. Like what she's saying, the good guys are gone. So it's bittersweet, sweet in the sense that you need to learn how to get everything at the same time. So if you want to go for your career, it's not an ultimatum. If you want to pursue your career, it doesn't mean that you cannot date. It doesn't mean that you cannot be in a serious relationship. You could be in medical school and date someone. You could be a business and entrepreneur and date someone. I don't understand why women focus on this whole I need to cut any man in my life just so that I can focus on my career and then get upset, disappointed, and sad that there are no good men around when they're already.
working. And I think I will say specifically with Black women, especially, I feel like we don't really have the luxury to think that we can kind of take time off like that, And I specifically say Black women because like we're usually the backbone of everything, not even just with our families, but with our friend circles. Like it's always something for us to do. We're always taking care of somebody else. I don't have children, but I'm always like feeding a friend or taking care of someone or helping somebody out or
Yes.
doing a favor. And I think that's a cape that we put on ourselves. No one told us to do this. It's just
Mm,
something in us that we do.
that's
And if you
right.
think about the Black woman in your life, you probably think, "Damn, she's like a superwoman for everybody else. When does she slow down for herself?"
I mean, when I think of a black woman, I think about my Dia for some reason. No, I'm just kidding. But what I'm just saying is, I get her point. The black woman is the backbone of, the black culture. It is. I get it. The hustlers, the hardworking, they support the community. They're always in the forefront. I totally get it. But that does not mean that you have to sidetrack what's important for you. And frankly speaking, nobody wants to be alone. Nobody wants to be alone, and nobody should be alone unless they choose to be alone. But my thing is, you can be a superhero in your community, but that doesn't mean that you cannot afford to enjoy companionship and respect companionship. And again, back to this whole thing, I really feel that people really, really push this on black on the black community that black men are not good. And it's further from the truth. But you are on TikTok, on social media, on any platform, you'll hear people barking and yelling and screaming and talking about how men are no good and all that stuff. Like, it's not supporting an environment where people are trying to be together. And that's the reason why some women don't prioritize dating, because the older generation is not teaching them what they know. Like, she should be more on social media talking about, as a young woman, if you have something good, hang on to that. But instead of that, we hear a whole lot more of the men are no good, stay away from men, I don't need no men. And that is misleading a lot of times.
I think with black women specifically, it's harder for us to ever feel like we can just kind of take a break.
Mhm.
We have to be like all gas, no brakes. I don't think we have the luxury of feeling like, okay, I can take a breather now and relax. And I think it's really sad. I there's all these statistics about 45%, 65% of black women will never get married, and we're out here taking care of everybody else and not getting taken care of. And I think it's really sad. I think we self-impose
It
this
is
cape
sad.
on ourselves to save the world. Look at all the marches. Look at all, I know this is dating, but I got to bring it into like the political space. We're always at the front lines for everybody else. For everybody. Brother gets killed, we're in the front lines. The LGBTQ community, we're in the front lines. Other women that are not even showing that up as our allies, we're in the front lines. Gaza, front line. We're always there for everybody else. And on top of all the stuff in our personal lives, we out here trying to save the world. When does that leave time to like really feel comfortable? When does that really leave time to like relax or even just like put yourself first or dating? And I just feel like a lot of women get caught up in saving the world and then they leave little time for themselves.
I think that's a whole excuse, honestly speaking. She's right in the sense that some women do prioritize helping their community, be involved in all those things. But I feel that it's a matter of preference. I don't think that anyone is coming to the black women community expecting women to step up every single day. No, I think that, they're doing the right thing, being there, supporting different causes and stuff like that. But it doesn't take away the fact that you should focus on what is important for you. And in the grand scheme of things, being in a proper household setting, which is, you know, a a person with their partner, they're married, they have a family, that is the normal structure. That's the ideal structure for the economy because, you know, that's just the way it is. And I feel that people are just all over the place and then they wonder why they're in the situation they currently are, like she is. Honestly speaking, single mom, what am I saying? She's not even a mom. Single adult by herself. I'm sure she gets lonely. She must be lonely.
But that's why I think it's best for because I had to tell my mother this the other day, like she was just like stressing, oh, I'm worried about the kids. Like she got the grandkids her kids and then some more. Like she the one they take her they take all of the kids. Like it's like that's just like the thing.
Yeah.
So she just like, oh, I'm worried about the kids and stressing and things like that. I'm like, you gotta worry about yourself because once, when that time when something happened to you was you just
Grandma
out the dry because ain't
superpowers.
nobody gonna care. They don't care about that.
And she probably feels that she can't ever take a break because who has her? Who has her? Who has her? And I really push for this. Like, I would love to see more examples of strong black families where there is
Amen to that.
two people, whoever the two people are. But I think everybody needs a little support in their lives, a little backup. It's hard to do it all by yourself.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I've been saying. Exactly. It's hard doing it by yourself. And no one is saying that you need to be by yourself. So if you can, be open to the idea. If you meet someone that seems to be the right prospect, entertain him or entertain her. Because if you don't, you might end up being in a situation like this, and it ain't no fun.
I
I've been
agree.
doing it by myself, but I'm constantly exhausted. And I
Hmm.
never took the time to like stop and smell the roses. Like I really don't. I'm always going, going, going. And it's cool for a little while, but it's not really a realistic pace. Like I think people look at me like, how could you even date? Would
Right.
you even have time for someone? Or
Hmm.
definitely a child. That never really, I never felt like I had time for that. Never.
Really?
Never.
Mm.
I know. I never felt comfortable. I never felt like I'm in a place where I'm supported, where this person is going to like be able to, you know, have my back. I always felt like I had to go get it myself. And maybe that's daddy issues. I think a lot of women that didn't really grow up with their dad think
Mm.
that, well, I don't have that. I got you.
Right.
It's no, I have to go get it.
So you think even now, you feel like even at the stage you're in now, like you don't have time for like a family or
Now I'm 52, so I don't even know. I mean, I'm still fertile. I know I'm still fertile. I'm not out here getting pregnant before y'all start any rumors, okay? But I like so much time has gone by without it, and I've always been on the fence about having kids. Like it was always if I feel like I have the right partner, then I would go there and want to do it with someone.
Right.
But I never was the type of woman that's like, I just want to be a mom no matter what. I want it to be the right situation. I want to bring my child into a world.
But see, that's you trying to control. You can't
Yeah.
control You can't have everything. Can't just be so controlled.
It can, but I also don't want to be chaotic. I also don't want to like regret it. I don't want to like bring another kid in the world that says, "Where's my father?" Or I just wanted to be a place where I wanted to be with someone that they were dying to be a father. And,
Well, I don't know. I ain't heard too many of those.
right, and
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna end it here. I think she basically closed it well. It's like if you have the option to choose between being a mother in a relationship, married, or being a mother by yourself, in her situation, she would rather be a mother in a relationship with someone than being a single mother. And therefore, she chooses not to have a kid or put herself in a situation where she's going to end up being a single parent, which I respect her decision. Everybody is entitled to their decision. And I see why she's saying she's on the fence when it comes to kids because of this situation. And it's respectable. It really is. So I admire her for that. And to her point, as far as, what she wants to do with her life, the dating, she's still fertile. That's on her. She could do whatever makes sense for her. But like she said, if you want to go out there and do what you want to do, you want to be, a single parent because you want to have a kid no matter what, that's okay also in the sense that you're going to get pregnant, have your kid, and be able to build all that stuff. But then my question for you would be, why can't you do it with someone who wants to be with you? And if your answer is, oh, there's nobody for me, then I would say I disagree. There's somebody for everyone. I think that people are just a bit more picky than they should be. So take your time, open your eyes, be open to situations. Don't go crazy and then end up with the wrong person or the first person that comes your way. But be open to the idea of getting to know somebody to see whether or not you're able to build. Because back to the whole conversation about there are no good men out there anymore, that means that there were a time where there's a pool of good men that are on the market ready to settle, and the girls that ended up married with them are just other girls just like you. So that could have been you. Just the only difference is they were open to the idea and that they went with it. So all I'm just saying for all the women out there, kudos. Appreciate all the hard work you guys are putting in the community, but it's important as a community to grow together, to build together, to unite, and basically get into a relationship that you can actually build on top of. All right. So that being said, make sure you subscribe, like, comment below. Let me know your thoughts. If you're a single mother, tell me if it's hard, if it's easy. Do you miss, having a companion, or you feel like you have everything you need? And I'm curious to hear what you have to say. Having said that, See you guys in the next episode.